Terrorist attacks cause killing and serious injuries to people, damage to facilities and buildings, and create fear and panic in the society. These attacks pose many challenges for governments and security organizations and can cause political and social changes in countries. In recent years, terrorist attacks have increased in many countries, and it is considered one of the major security challenges for the international community. To deal with these attacks, governments and security organizations cooperate at the national and international level and try to ensure security and peace in society by identifying and tracking terrorist groups. The first case was the massacre of Boutros people in Lebanon on August 4, 2020. This incident happened in the capital of Lebanon, Beirut, in Boutros district. In this incident, a huge explosion occurred in the port of Beirut, killing at least 200 people and injuring more than 6,000 people. This incident caused the destruction of many buildings and many damages to the port of Beirut. According to the Lebanese authorities, the explosion occurred due to improper and dangerous storage of chemicals in the port of Beirut. These chemicals included ammonium nitrate, which was illegally stored in the port of Beirut. This incident caused the Lebanese people to strongly protest in the streets, and the Lebanese government was asked to find those responsible for this incident and bring them to justice. Also, many countries helped Lebanon to deal with the damages of this incident and help the Lebanese people. This incident has been remembered by the people of Lebanon and the world as one of the worst historical incidents in the history of Lebanon. And it is still bitter for the people of Lebanon and the families of its victims. The second case, the terrorist attack in Bombay, India, was one of the largest and most violent terrorist attacks in Indian history. This attack took place on November 26, 2008, and in 4 days, 10 Pakistani terrorists were killed along with 165 innocent citizens of India. By entering the luxury hotels, railway station, hospital and other buildings in Mumbai, the terrorists took the city hostage and used their weapons to harm the innocent citizens. This attack caused India and Pakistan to accuse each other, and the relations between the two countries were severely affected. After 4 days of the attack, Indian security forces were able to kill all the terrorists. This attack caused India and other countries to start measures to counter terrorism and try to improve security and peace in the region. The terrorist attack in Bombay. India was one of the largest and most violent terrorist attacks in the history of the world and is still remembered as one of the most historic and bitter events in the history of India. Thirdly, on November 24, 2017, a brutal terrorist attack took place at Al-Noor Mosque in North Sinai, Egypt. In this attack, at least 300 people were killed and more than 120 others were injured. The ISIS terrorist group claimed responsibility for this attack. By entering the mosque and using their weapons, the terrorists mercilessly attacked the people and sought to kill and injure. This attack was one of the worst terrorist attacks in the history of Egypt and caused a lot of shock and panic in the society. This attack showed that terrorism is still one of the biggest security threats in the world, and there is a need for global cooperation to deal with it. Fourth, the massacre of the Rohingya people in Myanmar is one of the biggest crimes against humanity in the 21st century. This Muslim population has been living in Myanmar since the 1960s, but due to racial and religious discrimination, they were severely pressured in 2017. Myanmar security forces, with the broad support of the local Buddhist population, acted harshly against the Rohingya. In these attacks, more than 7,500 men, women and children were killed, and more than 700,000 Rohingya families fled to the port of Bangladesh. This population in Bangladesh has been severely pressured and faced many problems due to the lack of proper conditions. This crime against humanity is one of the biggest moral and political challenges for the world community, and efforts should be made to bring those responsible for this crime to justice. And the last case, in the last days of August 2017, a terrible terrorist attack occurred in the city of Barcelona in Spain. A terrorist group moved towards the crowd using a vehicle in the busy streets of the city and hit many people, injuring more than 130 people and killing 16 people. This attack was claimed by the ISIS terrorist group. After the attack, authorities in Spain and other countries around the world strongly condemned it and took measures to fight terrorism and prevent similar incidents in the future. Also, the people of Spain and the city of Barcelona, by holding a memorial ceremony and a protest against this attack, showed that these terrorist acts cannot defeat their will and motivation.